try to give a lot of words to children. So books which promote vocabulary building. You know they are going through the what period. They're asking you for all the names of everything. Around 18, 19 months. I know most of you all are beyond that age, so it would be difficult. The what is still there, the why hasn't started yet.
Why has also started.
So hang on, hang in there. We are all in the same boat. Okay? So the what period goes on for more than a year. From about 1.5 to 2.5 years of age. It would continue beyond that if the child is highly interested in more detail. Okay? Now at around 2 years, what happens? Do you all remember the second birthday? Yeah? What did something change after that? What changed?
She was more interested in why. I mean, have this. Why do I have to have that? These why, these things, and then connecting things.
Right.
One thing
So
to
what majorly changed after the second birthday?
I think became very particular about the order.
Sorry?
Became very particular about the order.
Became particular about the order, and something else also happened. Memory is very sharp. Memory का तो पूछना ही नहीं है. They would remember things which you really want to forget. They keep talking and talking and talking and talking. Sometimes meaningful, sometimes meaningless. So 2 years normally marks the beginning of their need for communication. Okay, at around 2, the child experiences this as a natural need. So there are certain developments that the child has, like the child has the absorbent mind that is promoting development. Child has something called the sensitive period for language, which is promoting language. So sensitive period for language peaks at around 2 years, 24 to 28 months. Okay? And at that time, there is something called the tendency for communication and tendency for gregariousness that the child is experiencing. So what are these tendencies? These are natural needs that children go through. Tendency for communication you would understand, but you also understand gregariousness. What it means to be gregarious by nature. We are social beings, right? We are social animals. We got to exist with people. Otherwise there's something wrong, isn't it? So that need becomes really strong at times. And that is when children want to keep communicating, keep talking, keep sharing. So when you say stories at 2 years of age, what happens? Do you have them adding to the idea? Yeah, they make their own story up. Sometimes the story is like, could have happened, but sometimes it's completely out of the blue. Half the times it's out of the blue. So, you went in the plane, but he went in the rocket. Isn't it? So these are the stories that we now come about. Now this does not mean that the child is ready for imagination. He is not imagining. He is making it up. Are you getting me? They are not imagining, so do not give them imagination-based stories. Do not add to what they say. So if the child says, I went in the rocket, oh really? You went in the rocket? Wow! How have you went in the rocket? Got it. Like just suddenly ignore it and move on with your story. Now if you say something and the child is adding something very meaningfully, then infuse that in your story. Be flexible. Don't say, no, this can't happen, this is not part of the story. So if you can accommodate it, be flexible and accommodate. But if you cannot, just ignore it. Okay? So at this age, your stories will have to be a lot more lengthy. 4-sentence stories are not going to help. We went to the market, we bought vegetables, we came back, story over. That's not helping. Okay? So it helps when you give details. They want to get into the nitty-gritties of everything. Okay, so we went to the market. Which market?
How?
Which car? Who all went? We all went. And you are trying to say, no, Mama, you and I went. We all went. Even my friends from Lundas went. They love that. They love when everybody is doing things together, right? So you add it and you keep letting the child add. Now once you've told a story multiple times, you can give the hint So you start the story and then you wait for the child to complete it. So you say, mommy and I, or I and you, we both sat in the car and we went to, and wait for the child to complete. So if the child knows the story really well, they will keep adding. Even before you wait, they will add. So this is the time when you would need to do that. Now once this need is fulfilled, which does not get fulfilled till they are 4.5 years of age, okay? But takes a while, for them to get over this need for a lot of stories, lot of communication. By about 3 years, they then get into this analytical mode. Now they start asking you the whys, right? They start asking you the why nots, hows, where's. So at about 3.5, this will begin. So when they start asking why questions, what do you do? So why do I have to do this? Why do I have to drink milk? Or why are you not drinking milk? Oh, they ask you all kinds of questions.
One question.
They want to know whether you know or not. So see, they need to know how consistent your answer is. Okay. So first they test you and then they double test you. So quarterly exam, then final exam. Same syllabus. So now what you would need to do is, unless your answer is the same every time, let me tell you, the why is only going to go up because his curiosity is not being met. So after 3 years, our children really become inquisitive. Is that a good word or a bad word? It's great. If they are not inquisitive, they are not going to learn anything. So it's great. Now when they are inquisitive, what kind of stories and books? So all stories have to be realistic, real picture, real story. All that is the same. Rule is the same till 6 years. But what kind of stories? More detailed. Will you want very good, more detailed stories. Stories which have a lot of answer even before the question has come about. But let me tell you, the questions won't stop there. We have more questions. But that's what you have to feed. You have to feed the child's inquisitive mind. Because what's happening at 3 years? The absorbent mind, which was working at a completely non-conscious level, is now becoming conscious. Okay, child is being introduced to all the sensorial concepts of color, shape, dimensions, and all that can be added to your stories. You can give them much more details with sensorial concepts. So stories around that. And just like I was sharing about how you can have them stories about a vacation. So just like that, always keep in mind that you can tell the child stories about the recent past and the near future. So you can talk to them about what went by and what's going to come. Normally when you talk about what's going to come, what happens? You're setting an expectation and you're preparing your child to expect that event. So if you say that this evening we have to go for a wedding and this is what we need to do for that. We need to get our clothes out, mommy's going to get her jewelry out, dad's going to remove his suit. The minute you put all those things together, your child understands how to prepare for a wedding, what all goes into preparing for a wedding, and gets prepared to go as well. Yes.
The thing is, sometimes when the event is a day or two later, I don't think they have a sense of time. So
that's
it's like every 5
near
minutes they keep asking.
near future, very near future, which means something which is going to happen very soon. Yeah, don't talk about this vacation 1 week in advance.
Not even if it's a meeting. I heard that like every 10 minutes meeting. Is it the time to do that?
Good, because they don't have the concept of time right now. So if, let's say, you are preparing a child for an event that's going to happen the same evening, you are actually setting that expectation. So every 10 minutes when your child asks, you say to us, not got my clothes on. I've still not got that done. I have to do that. And after I get ready, am I ready? I'm not ready yet. Have I put those earrings on? No. So you can give them function details to let them understand that it's not time yet. And because the time concept is not clear, we will never talk about events which are going to happen a couple of days later. Maximum is the event that's going to happen the next day. And birthdays, never talk about them. Is today my birthday? Today only. Today only is my birthday.
Next morning is
Again birthday. When is my birthday? It's also their birthday. So birthdays might technically are bad events to talk about. Yeah, but you can prepare them for other people's birthday. His birthday.
My son went to a party. He saw some characters. He identified how much characters. The next day I had a date with Hanika. So he's just telling Hanika, no, I brought him a cake, then neither one came. So they're also going to come to my birthday. So both of us will go at their party and take you there.
So they keep relating to it so strongly because by 3 years they understand what a birthday means. So you need to be very careful. You're going to share that kind of thing. So imagine something that's going to happen soon. And we also have to help them build on their patience, which is really short right now. If something's got to happen, it better happen now. You can't wait. So this will also help them because that everything will not happen now. It has a time and it will happen only at that time. Right? Yes.
Like which are not being supported by both. See, like imagining the entire system of visuals now.